Let's try doing half of my face with cheap makeup and half of my face with expensive makeup. I've already done my brows, so let's start with the base. On the expensive side, I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. This is my favorite moisturizer for underneath makeup, but it is pretty spendy. So let's try the CeraVe moisturizer on the other side and see if it really makes a difference. Now let's go with primer. On this side, I'm going to do the KVD Porefining Primer. I've actually never tried this, so let's see. I think I applied way too much actually. Then on this side, we're going to use the NYX Marshmallow Primer, which is also a pore refining primer. I just ran out of my go-to cheap foundation, which is the L'Oreal Infallible, so we're just going to test the difference between these two today. On the expensive side, we're using the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. I love this underneath foundation, but also on like no foundation days, just as like a glowy base. And then on the other side, we're gonna do the e.l.f. Halo Glow. I feel like the e.l.f. one actually has a lot more coverage than the other one. Okay, so far we're looking very similar. Now it's time for concealer. On this side, we're using the Anastasia Magic Touch Concealer. And my skin is kind of going through it, so we need quite a bit today. Blend, blend, blend. On this side, I'm gonna use the Revolution in Real Life Filter Finish Concealer. Blend, blend, blend. For cream bronzer on this side, I'm using the Anastasia cream bronzer in the shade Amber. This is the one that I usually use on a day-to-day basis. It's so creamy, blends out like butter, and just looks beautiful. And on the other side, we're using the Made by Mitchell, how do I say this? Blush, that's weird, the shade Creme Carve. And I wouldn't say this is like cheap, or I'm not sure. It's definitely less expensive than the Anastasia one. I feel like this is less creamy than the Anastasia one, but to be honest, once it's blended out, it looks very similar. On this side, we're going to use Anastasia Stick Blush in the shade Peachy Keen. On this side, we're using this Revolution, this is a Revolution one in the shade Juicy. Go to part 2.